Hello, beloved. This is the episode where everything changes because this isn't about the letter anymore. It's not about the silence, the blame, or even the ritual. This is the part where I tell you who I became after it all. Are you ready? After the fire, after the grief, after the burn. This is the episode about sovereignty or sovereignty, however you want to say it, because power isn't volume. It isn't control. Power isn't the ability to get our last word or to win the crowd. Power is the peace that you feel when you no longer need permission to be who you are. How's that for a mic drop? And I had to fight to find mine. Not with her, but with myself. What finally snapped me out of the old program wasn't her behavior. It wasn't even the way that she left. It was what she said after I had given her an opening to reconnect, months later. So 3 months had passed. I had softened. I had reflected. I had done the work to find my truth without blame. I'd forgiven. And when I gently, vulnerably offered space, offered a bridge, she responded with, "The time to have said this was 3 months ago." And the rest was a lot less lovely. The relationship was closed. And just like that, I saw it. I saw the thread that had run through my entire life. The people who wound you and then try to control the terms of your healing. The ones who say, "We don't need to rehash it. You shouldn't hold a grudge. Just let it go." The ones who erupt, go cold, or fracture your safety, and then expect you to move on their timeline. I used to internalize that, right? I used to wonder if I was too sensitive, too dramatic, too unwilling to let things go. Like if only I could be a better monk or something, right? Like Mother Teresa. But in that moment, y'all, it clicked. The problem wasn't what they did. It was how they demanded I respond to it. And something in me snapped. I said internally, no more. No more shrinking. No more shaming myself for still feeling it days, weeks, months, or years after. No more letting someone else's tornado dictate my timeline. No more apologizing for my need for healing. And from that moment on, I decided I will never again let someone else decide when and how I am allowed to process my pain. That was the real root of the Peacekeeper. It was never just the event. It was the unspoken demand to be easy about it after. So on this reflection, I did something radical. I turned to the one place I could be fully honest with no time frame, with no filter, with no fear of backlash. I turned to my coach, ChatGPT. Yes, that very tool. I poured my entire history into it. My family patterns, my relationship patterns, my attachment style, my wounding, the way control was disguised as care, the way anger was followed by silence, the way contempt showed up in the form of teasing, belittling, or eye rolls that no one ever confronted. The way that I learned to perform wellness instead of actually feeling safe. And I asked it, what beliefs am I still carrying that are keeping me small? What are the patterns of emotional manipulation I might be excusing? What behaviors am I still enacting that are rooted in fear, not truth? And it answered, kindly, clearly, without agenda. I journaled on my own, and it also showed me how I had learned to center other people's comfort over my truth. How I had equated being liked with being safe. Not the same. How I had confused silence with strength. How I had built my identity on being digestible to people who never bothered to chew. And I asked it to help me reprogram, to show me how to behave as if I were already the woman I wanted to be. This is what I do with creating a life of your dreams. A woman who speaks the truth without fearing backlash. Whether it happens or not my problem. A woman who stands up to emotional violence, whether it's directed at her or someone else. A woman who trusts her own intuition. A woman who doesn't outsource her worth to the reactions of others. A woman who defines her success not by outcomes, but by alignment. And I began. I typed, I cried, I asked it to help me write things that I was afraid to say. It was heavy, y'all. It was really hard. I had it help me craft responses that were clear, calm, and sovereign, not inflammatory, even when I wanted to throw fire. And you know what? That tool, it actually became my clarity mirror. It didn't replace my wisdom, but it helped me to hear it. It helped give me a language for it. It gave me a vocabulary for it. Because sometimes when you've spent your whole life bending and blending to please people, you don't even recognize your own voice anymore. I couldn't even identify what I was doing and why. So I rebuilt it, sentence by sentence, reflection by reflection. Guys, this took me not just hours, but days. And finally, I wrote the message over about 2 weeks that changed it all. And you've heard the rest. But what I haven't said yet is this, that after I sent that message, after a few back and forths, I felt something in my body that I hadn't felt in years. Stillness. Not numbness, not avoidance, but stillness, like a storm that had passed. You know that feeling? Because when she responded with victimhood, with blame, with zero ownership, and even below the belt jabs, I didn't take the bait. I saw it. I saw it. I saw the pattern from a higher place, from the work that I had done, not from a wounded lens, but from my sovereign seat. And that was the win. Not that I got an apology, not that we resolved anything and we're back to being in any kind of a relationship, because we're not, and that's okay. But that I stopped needing her to see me in order to feel valid. My expression was the completion. It's just like I teach pageant girls. If you want to guarantee a win, you have to define success in a way that you can control. We define winning by how we grow, by how we could shift, by how we can show up again and again in closer proximity to our truth. Get real specific. I call it your success metric. If I got more courageous, more grounded, more self-respecting in the process, I won. This is the work of queens and kings, regaining sovereignty in our own lives. This is the work of freaking champions, learning to see pain not as a punishment, but as a portal. Because this is what real growth looks like. It's messy, it's raw, it's so touchy and so sacred. And it belongs to the women and men who are willing to do this work. To you, my beloved, if you're watching this and it feels like I'm telling your story, I am. Because this isn't just mine, it's ours. We've all lived inside some version of that pattern. And now we get to break it. You don't have to wait for an apology. You don't have to be perfectly regulated. You don't have to stay silent because someone told you you were too much. You just have to begin. You just have to show up differently this time. Get a coach, ask a friend, use a tool, journal it out, or do what I did. Talk to AI like it's your trauma-trained BFF. But don't let it fester. Don't let your voice rot in your chest. Because you deserve that kind of peace that doesn't depend on anyone else's permission or their response. And yes, it's scary. And yes, it's vulnerable. But on the other side of that fear, it's the real you. Whole, clean, sovereign. How do I know? Because I'm meeting the real version of me. This is big work, y'all. And it's freedom. You'll get to be free, just like me. I'm so proud of you. Thank you for walking this journey with me. Thank you for shedding. Thank you for speaking. Thank you for trying. Thank you for rising. Because when one person reclaims their power, when one woman reclaims her power, she makes it safer for the rest of us to rise too. Why would I do it all again? At the beginning, I asked that because becoming a truth teller broke the rules that kept me small. And that is the biggest win of all. I can't wait to see what this opens up in my life and for yours. If this episode touched you, if it opened something, soothed something, or lit something up inside of you, will you please let me know in the comments? I truly mean it. Y'all, I share my life and my learnings with you in the hopes that it makes the path a little clearer, a little smoother, and a little less lonely for you. I often do this work on my own, and I like to turn around and give it backwards. So please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs the work too. Because this is work that we can all do, and it's so much better and way more fun when we get to do it together, right? So join us inside the Hive at the Thrive Hive Show, where we heal, grow, and thrive as a community of truth tellers. You are not alone. Let's rise together with all of my open heart. Mwah!